advisory. They are not a regulator, so they cannot control. They can just issue advisory.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else? Just raise your hand and we will unmute your mic. In the meantime, I'll ask a question from Mr. Amrish itself. Bigger companies like the multinationals in travel trade, they have the capacity to hold, whereas smaller companies don't have the capacity to hold. However, bigger companies have offices all over, and it's a big expense. So would they? So I just want to know, what is your opinion? Would the bigger companies, multinationals, stop operating, close their offices, and reduce the number of offices, or the effect will be greater on the smaller ones? Because smaller ones, as you said, 70%, maybe they will keep only the core, and the smaller companies continue. They keep only the core, 2, 3, 3, 4 people, because generally it is the proprietor and maybe 1 or 2 of his core, or maybe 1 or 2 relatives of his running the company. So at the end of it, by say September, what do you see? What as far as travel trade goes, there would be the multinationals left out, or there would be the smaller ones left out?
I look into the other way around. Multinational for sure is going to survive. There is no impact on multinational because multinational has a huge setup, organization setup. So for getting the finances, arranging the finances, or having the reserve, cash reserve, is a huge in multinational company as compared to the smaller company where the total working capital can meet the cash flow can meet only 2-3 months demand. So working larger company, there is not much problem because they can have the stock options, they can take the bank loan, mortgage. There are lots of ways and means. In terms of firing the employees or laying off the employees, multinational will not do, honestly speaking, because training the people and getting the skilled people, it's very difficult. So definitely this time, the time which we are having as of now, they will utilize it to train the people, let the people learn the new skills, new techniques, and maybe they reframe the business strategy. There are lots of business strategy will go because they will not put all the eggs in one basket. They will have a different business module as well. Some business module which give like the advance money, which help you to run the business. So like the inbound, where you get the advance money, which help you to generate the other events or other business. People will opt for those business where they are getting more advanced, better vendor management, where they can recycle the cycle. For a smaller organization, that is a tough time because they really need to work on the cash flow. And what happens in a smaller organization, they normally don't have the daily cash flow management or the weekly cash flow management. Here they need to put more time, money, understand, do the assessment of how much cash reserve they have to survive. They need to make sure that their employees is not, they take them care proper. They need to communicate with them, let them understand this is a crisis time, discuss maybe in case it's reworking the model in terms of reduction in the salary or the giving that later on. So they have to work out some strategy with the clear communication to hold on the business. I don't see the multinational company is going to collapse because nobody will allow them to collapse.
Okay, wonderful. So it will be small company like ours that will collapse.
More perishable.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, anyone raising a hand? I can see Prerna. You have a question? Or is it your finger on the lip? Or you raising your hand?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Rajshri, please go ahead.
No, sir, I'm saying Ankit Prasad is going to ask next question.
Okay, Ankit.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to ask the question from that Europe person. Like, how will he prepare himself for the future pandemics like this? Am I audible?
Is this addressed to me or?
Yeah. It is related. I'm asking you only, yeah.
Okay, see, as I told you earlier, that the main thing is to educate the clients. We cannot see ourselves to push the clients to close a sale, right? Because the clients don't have money right now. Many of us are not receiving salaries for a few months or maybe receiving a partial of the salary. So there is general problem of cash flow in the whole Indian sector. But what we can do is to educate the clients about a proper destination. Say there is an untapped market like say Poland or Latvia or the Baltic islands, like even Estonia or all those Baltic places. We can promote them. I was going through the websites and I found that the COVID-19 has really not affected some of these destinations much. So we can probably create a Excel sheet where we can map out the regions which are not affected by the virus and try to promote those destinations aggressively. Saying that, we also need to educate the clients about those destinations because many of these people have not even heard about places like Bulgaria or Romania, and they're very economic. They are easier on the pocket for the clients, and in the long run, we can obviously focus on those clients. When I'm talking about promoting a particular line of business or promoting a particular destination, we also need to advise them about responsible travel. Like when they're traveling, they should be washing their hands regularly, or they should be having a normal cuff etiquette, or if they are having any problems, they can still possibly postpone the travel. If somebody is having respiratory problems, they should avoid contact with that. So these are the sorts of, we are not particularly promoting travel, but we are promoting the other aspects of travel as well. So these are the ways we can promote our company or our or the destinations, right? Also, as I mentioned earlier in my previous, just some time back, that we can also think about booking some of the destinations in advance, like in, say, places like Scandinavia, they sell a lot in October and November and December. Places like Finland, where you can promote the the Northern Lights, or in places like you can provide other aspects of Scandinavian things. So maybe we can try and tell the clients that if you book it in advance, 6 months down the line, the prices will be cheap and not too many people are going, so you can have the extra advantage of having a much economic prices compared if you book it after 6 months down the line when the market improves. So we can probably have a token amount from the clients, so say 10% or 20% of the clients, and that will help your company to run and pay your salaries and meet the other expenses as of now.
Yeah, I would like to add on my question. Am I audible?
Yeah,
You are. Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're exploring new places, then you have to add more infrastructure to that. So would it be possible after this thing to set up entirely from the scratch?
It is not at all impossible. Trust me, it probably takes only a month to plan the whole thing. Say if you're doing a new destination like Ireland, you can probably what I have done myself. I've just completed training from Ireland tourism board, and I've got the certification for that as well. It took me hardly 3 to 4 days. I contacted the Ireland tourism department, got brochures from them, learned much about the destination, and I got a thorough knowledge about the destination knowledge myself. After some time, what I'm going to do, maybe after 1 month or so, I will probably contacting the vendors. The hotel rates can always get online. The rest of the aspects like coaches and restaurants and the guides, they can be contacted online. Say if you're looking for a guide, you can go to a website called Tour by Locals, or you can go to Global Passenger Network to find out the guides and the coach details as well. Similarly, you can call up the individual restaurants and just nudge them about what sort of prices would it be after 6 months down the line. Maybe you can have a contract as of now. Let's say if I provide you so many clients, maybe you can provide me a better pricing, something like that. So it does not take a long time to planning because we don't have to have somebody over there. Personally, I don't have somebody in Ireland. My company doesn't have an office in Ireland. It does not stop me from selling Ireland or any other destination, because ultimately our whole business is based on contacts and based on our goodwill, and also on how we pitch the client, how we pitch the products to our clients. So I don't think it's not going to be a difficult thing at all. The main thing is vendor management and what sort of relationship you have with your clients. That will pull your business in the long run.
I need to just add one point here. As you're saying you are looking at different destinations. So my question to you is that you given the 3 destination named Romania, Ireland, and Norway, where you will focus the business. I was just going through the data, and Romania has 5,202 cases today. Ireland had 6,074 cases today, and Norway had 6,700 cases today as on when we are talking. So as compared to when you are looking these destinations to promote, in my opinion, they had far much high, because with 5,000 cases in India with a population of 1.35 billion, and these smaller company having already this case, and their growth rate is very high as compared to India. So how you are looking this destination as a safe destination is a bit confusing to me, because for me, these are much higher impacted areas as compared to India.
Mr. Tiwari, when I was doing this Ireland course around about some time back, Ireland was not exactly in the danger zone. It
But
was
as of now, it is.
now it is. But I've gone to a website. I will give you the website name. It's called World. I'll let you know. Just 1 second. So this website was promoting. I mean, it is giving you data every day about how many people are being infected.
John Hopkins University is issuing the official data, and as for them, 6,074 is the cases in Ireland.
Okay. I'm not talking specifically about Ireland. I'm talking that we need to prepare a list or an Excel in an Excel format that how many people are getting affected, how many people are actually expiring on the particular destination. Say something like, say, South Korea. Not too many cases have been heard from that country, or even Taiwan. It is really doing good. Even Germany is doing a great in terms of fighting the virus. So maybe we can promote Germany in future, or maybe something like Finland, or even some of the Baltic islands. You know, they are much safer as compared to something like USA or Spain and Italy. Obviously,
I got your point, but my question was originally there around 186 countries majorly and 201 totally countries impacted.
Yeah.
So be it Taiwan, Korea, any destination you're talking the word as of now, do you think as a corporate or association or industry or an individual traveler, are they ready within 1 year to travel abroad? This is my question to you exactly.
See, corporate bookings are going to be very tough to get in the next 6 months. I'm not sure about the 1 year gap, because that's a very long time frame you're looking at. But 6 months down the line, I'm very much sure that individual travelers and small groups are going to be traveling, because Indians as a community, as a country, love to travel, you know, and people in general tend to have a very short memory in India. You remember in India, Pakistan matches, India loses, and after 2-3 months down the line, I mean, you know, everybody starts cheering India for the next match. It's something like that. We have got very short-term memories, and everybody fears for their life. I accept that. But then Indians love to travel. We are born to travel, and the moment we have some cash flowing into our pocket, we hinge at the next opportunity, and we look forward to travel the next destination. I mean, personally, for me, if I get an opportunity to travel to either Spain or Italy, the moment the COVID-19 epidemic subsides, I would love to travel after 3 or 4 months. You know, this is my personal feedback. I would love to do it. So I think getting small groups won't be a problem. Even getting individual travelers or honeymoon couples should not be a problem after 6 months. But yeah, big corporates are going to be a big no-no, because again, the corporates are very much cautious about their employees, and they're very concerned about that whether they should not be getting any virus or any natural unnatural thing should not be happening to them. So obviously they would take extra precautions. But I think individual travelers, small groups, honeymoon couples, we can always target that. Many of them would take the risk, because now the prices would be much cheaper after 6 months. Even after 3 months, maybe the prices in Spain or Italy. And if I book a package of 2 lakhs for Spain and Italy right now, I'll be probably getting this package for 1,50,000 after 3 months or 4 months down the line. I mean, I would love to promote Spain and Italy after 3 months, and with the cheap prices, because Indians are very price conscious about the products. I think selling should not be a problem. I'm very optimistic about it. Trust me.
Okay.
Right. We have time for one last question, and then I'll request the panelists within a minute or minute and a half to start winding up. Yeah. Any more question? Prerna? Anuj? Anyone? I just saw one or two hands going up, but that was, I think, yeah. 030394.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, a little louder if it's fine.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, this is Vijay actually. My question is to Mr. Amrish Tiwari, sir. The way India has handled this pandemic, at the very early stage, thermal screening at the airport and then lockdown. See, there is one part which we call medical tourism. So, do you think that India has a far more potential in this sector also after after 2 or 3 or 4 months if this virus gets slowed down? So, India has far more potential in this sector because India is the second most populous country, and the way India is handling this situation and this virus, so it will also emerge as a very good this kind of destination. India can handle this medical tourism also is very very well. So do you think that this is a very far potential in India in this sector?
Yeah, bang on. I was telling you that we need to look the other revenue, and medical tourism is definitely going to have a very huge positive impact, and this is a big opportunity. We are as compared to the US and Europe, our prices are 6 times economical as compared to them. Plus, like US has the 3 months or 6 month waiting period. Here you don't have the waiting period. India produces largest number of doctors, nurses in the world. So yes, medical tourism has a huge opportunity. But at the same time, medical tourism need a very expertise. What happens is, suppose in the travel industry start handling the medical tourism, what goes wrong? Because when the case study come to you, suppose somebody has a heart problem and he sent the case study to you. So most of the time, all those people who run the website on the medical tourism, they are not able to understand what the case study is there, what the case and problem, because this is a medical related problem. And normally doctor can only explain, and most of us don't employ the doctor. So these are going to a very technical and professional segment. So medical tourism is definitely going to grow. Either we need to create the capabilities to read those case study, having the doctor on the board, then only you will get benefit. Otherwise, survive the wellness and spa and Ayurveda, yoga, that might be an area where intermediary can work better. But medical tourism is definitely growing and growing very fast in India, as around 22% is growth rate in medical tourism, but it need to be handled by expert. That's my only submission, but that's a very good point, and it's going to be increased very positive way.
Right. I think now it's
Thank you so much.
start winding up. So I'll request Anuj, if you can wind up in about a minute, and then I'll request the other two speakers. I hope. Yeah, Anuj.
Since we are going through this tough time, I'm very optimistic about the times that we'll be facing in a couple of months. So what I believe is that we will be overcome this situation very soon. By the month of June, everything will be fine with India and by in other countries as well. So I hope people will fly, people will travel in domestic as well as international, and I am hoping that this travel industry, tourism industry will and so this is because these are very tough time, and people are people are having negative thoughts when will this situation will be over, and these are a very tough time for everyone. So I am hoping everything will be fine by the month of June, and people will travel, and these are things that I'm hoping for as of now.
Wonderful, Anuj. Good to hear your optimistic view, and I suppose your company also has this view, and they keep giving you full salary. Okay. Next, we have Kalyan.
Yeah, I think about the full salary aspect, yeah, that is something very positive to hear from you. So I'm not very much optimistic, but of course, let's hope for the best, right? Even I think in the next 3 or 4 months, things will be much better as of now, and probably we are getting a bit overboard with the with the situation right now. Domestic tourism should not be having any problems at all. Maybe 2 or 3 months, and we should be up and running. I'm really concerned about the international tourists, the outbound tourists from India, because if the situation does not improve abroad, then there might be there could be some huge loss of business. Also, another thing which I'm really worried about is if Europe is fine after 3 or 4 months, if the virus fades away, the impact of virus fades away, and if the situation in India gets really worse, with the way the things are getting right now, in that case, they might stop Indians from flying abroad. Maybe Indians might not be allowed to travel to Europe the way the situation is with China right now. So there are lots of ifs and ups and so there are lots of things which needs to be taken in consideration later on. But as of now, I'm much positive.
Good to see another optimist. Wonderful. Let's hope it happens that way. But I would go by what Amrish said is September, not June. Yeah, Amrish.
Not June. Yeah, maybe September, October. Yeah, yes.
Amrish has the last word. Yes, please.
I was talking to the UNWTO, Mr. Suman Bella, who is the director in UNWTO. So I was talking to him yesterday, and as per UNWTO report, which is coming in next 48 hours to India, to reach the 2018-19 level, what we did, whatever balance sheet our 2018-19 for all the respected company, so reach a 2018-19 level for the India as a destination, be it inbound, outbound, or domestic, it will take us 7 years. 7 years to reach last year. This is the fact. This is the reality. So whatever we are saying, how much optimistic we are, in last 150 years, the world has not seen the place. Even during the First World War and Second World War, the world was not closed like this, which we are having today. GDP, other than only 7 countries are showing the positive GDP, that is 1% or 2%. India is 2.1%. The rest are going to be down. So when chips are down, people will hold whatever they are having. Even lots of entrepreneurs, smaller ones, is talking about, suppose if they had 2 crore rupees in their bank account, whether they continue the business and pay the salary or keep the money and close the business and survive. That's the scenario. Is actually all we need to look the positivity, better communication, better strategy, different product and different segment, how we can get business. If we are focusing at this time only one expertise, that will not work. This is the time when we are free at home. We need to train each of us for the multitasking role, and that is the only mantra for survival. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. As rightly said, let us be optimists, but then being a realist would be better, because the resources will finish very fast. And one really can't say with this 5,000. I mean, in the world, it's moving very fast. India, now the curve is fairly steep. The numbers are not too many. Let's see if we're able to control it. But if India's controlled, places around Pakistan are having a tough time with a lot of cases coming up. Europe at the moment is very difficult to control. So one has to be a realist and see how it will work out, although it's not possible to really forecast. But still, finances, the running cash is what matters, right? I'll thank the participants who've come in a fairly decent number, and of course the panelists who's made this discussion a success. And I'll like to close with a little joke. Couple, very recently married couple. Now they were planning their honeymoon, and of course the travel agency told them, "Sir, the flights are cancelled." So this guy, he wasn't very happy. He said, "What do I do?" So he booked a farmhouse and told his family that, "Listen, I had met some people who got coronavirus, so I can't leave my wife, so I am going into quarantine. I booked a farmhouse and I'm going to be there for the next 2 weeks now." Thank you so much for joining us. And anybody in a hurry could leave, or you could just do a bit of networking with each other. And keep in touch. We would be organizing more webinars like this. I think, Amrish was in a great hurry because he's got something. Yeah, Anuj.
I have one question for Mr. Amrish.
He's just left because he was in a great hurry. He told me that he's been on it since morning, and I think
Okay.
he's got something lined up after this. He's just
Okay.
left us.
See, what my question is, like, since he is from mice industry, so I was just like, my question was with him is that, like, how it is going to affect mice industry, since in mice it is like it is a big group movement of maybe 304 people. So how it affect mice industry?
In fact, Anuj, before you joined in, I had asked this question that whether inbound, outbound, or the mice, which industry will be affected the most. His opinion was each of them going to be affected equally. He said inbound, outbound, mice, or whatever is it, there will be a problem, and slowly, see, one comes up, the second come up, the third. So he felt that all of them will come up and sometime after September, but slowly. And it may take quite some time. And he was saying that, catch up on Aster's figures, it may take a few years for it.
Okay.
Yeah, please, anyone, anything? Now, I said the official webinar is over. Just a little bit of time for networking if you want to ask anything from each other.
Have any future groups for Europe? You can always contact directly. And my name is Kalyan, and my phone number is 9350882234. So if you have any questions regarding Europe in the future, you can always call me, and I can let you know.